The Twin Islands of Trinidad and Tobago have a rich culture, abundant in diversity. This is because throughout history, many ethnic groups have made a great impression on Trinidadian society. It is believed that the first peoples of Trinidad were Amerindian tribes from South America, the Caribs and the Arawaks. The Arawaks were a peaceful people who settled mainly in the south. They hunted, fished, and grew crops such as cassava, maize, and sweet potato. They also used cotton to make hammocks and used tobacco for rituals. They also made pottery and wood carvings. The northern part of the island, the land of the hummingbird, was inhabited by the Carib tribes. They were a fierce people and rebelled against European attempts at colonization. July 31st, 1498, brought the explorer Christopher Columbus to the island. He named La Trinidad after the Blessed Trinity. Trinidad was now a Spanish monarchy. At that time, the Spaniards were only interested in gold and other stones. There was none of that in Trinidad, so the Spaniards essentially neglected Trinidad except for bringing war, foreign diseases, and enslavement, which decimated most of the indigenous population. In 1498, it is estimated that there were 35,000 natives. The colonial powers thought that a religious conversion might help to control the Amerindians, so the Spanish set up missions and punished those not willing to follow the faith. Almost all of the natives were murdered, taken as slaves, suffered fatal diseases, or committed suicide. It is reported that there are 300 Amerindians on the island today.
In 1784, Don Jose Maria Chacon was sent to be governor, and his first task was to improve the country. He relocated the capital to Port of Spain and encouraged development in rural areas. In 1797, Spanish rule in Trinidad came to an end. A British fleet led by Admiral Sir Ralph Abercrombie sailed to Port of Spain harbor. Chacon had no means of fighting back, so he surrendered. It was then that Trinidad became a British monarchy. The British left a huge impact on the island. The architecture in Trinidad was, and still is, highly influenced by British settlers. Today, we still follow the British system of government. All public schools follow the British model and, for the most part, curriculum. English is the main spoken language, and the spelling of words is in British style.
The end of the 18th century is when the true colonization of Trinidad began. A French planter, Romain de Saint Laurent, visited Trinidad in the 1770s. He was so impressed with the land, he advised the Spanish king to encourage French planters to settle in Trinidad. In 1783, the king accepted his proposal and granted the cedula of the population. Instantly, the island was colonized with French planters from neighboring islands. This influenced the language, culture, and religion of Trinidad. After this, French became the main spoken language of the island. The French brought the first forms of carnival with them. The French would hold masquerade balls right before the beginning of the Catholic period of Lent. The slaves mimicked their masters by putting on masks and wear dress. Of course, the rich people didn't like this, so they tried to put a stop to it. However, these festivities continued. The idea of street procession at carnival time originated when the slaves were fully freed in 1838. They would light cane on fire and parade down the street. This was to symbolize how they no longer had to cut cane in the middle of the night if their master's field was on fire. This celebration was outlawed several times throughout the years. Despite this, Carnival is possibly the country's most widespread celebration today. The first African slaves came to Trinidad in the early 1780s. There was an influx in 1783 because many came over with their masters when the cedula of the population was issued. Most slaves were domestics or worked on plantations. They were treated extremely harshly. Hard labor, disease, and inhumane living conditions were common. They were often beaten, sometimes to death. The British Parliament passed an act abolishing slavery in 1834. In Trinidad, however, because the island was so dependent on slave labor, slaves were forced to endure an apprenticeship period of 4 to 6 years. Slaves protested and held demonstrations. On August 1st, 1838, the governor proclaimed a general emancipation.
When slavery was fully abolished in 1838, there was a shortage of laborers for the plantations. The planters were desperate for workers. An agent of immigration was appointed to source workers from other countries. On May 30th, 1845, the Fatale Rosac docked in Port of Spain with hundreds of Indian immigrants aboard. These people came to serve their 5-year period of indentureship. They were promised fair wages, free housing, medical attention, and return passes to India at the end of their indentureship. This came to an end in 1917, but the British government encouraged them to stay and granted them land in exchange for their return passage back to India. Many of them did stay and became landowners. Today, 45% of the population is of Indian descent. The Indian culture is still alive today as there are many temples and mosques, and Diwali and Eid have become national holidays.
Since then, large groups of Chinese, Portuguese, and Syrians have migrated to the island, mainly setting up businesses. Trinidad respects all cultures and traditions, declaring celebrations such as Christmas, Eid, Diwali, Shouter Baptist Day, Carnival, and Emancipation Day public holidays. People of various ethnic origins have blended together to form one united Trini culture.
This has been a Higher Learning Center production.
Islands in the sun.